Thanks, Brian. This is, you see I have my telltale written. I feel like I've been introducing people all morning, but I'm going to take a little more time, and I promise this is the last you're going to hear from me. But thank you, Brian, Mike, and Todd, for your ongoing support of this service line. And today, especially today, thank you, Brian, for recognizing the importance of art in creating a healing space for the patients we serve and enriching the environment that those of us who spend the better part of our professional lives within the walls of this beautiful facility. As a means of introduction for today's speaker, I want to give you some background of how Troika came into being. On the back page of your program is a brief biography of Jens Zorn, the physics professor turned artist who created the sculpture. I first met Jens as the inconspicuous behind-the-scenes spouse who quietly assisted my most memorable college professor, Fran Zorn. Fran ran a course on careers in health and medicine out of the living room of her home at 2130 Dorset Road in Ann Arbor, Michigan. In that living room, Fran and her retinue of guest speakers transformed for one night a week a huge, cold, and impersonal Midwestern monster into the intimate and nurturing environment that every pre-med student at the University of Michigan privately craved. I stayed in Ann Arbor for 6.5 more years after completing that course, and over that time our relationship grew such that I returned to her living room as an invited speaker for careers on 3 subsequent occasions, as a medical student, as a resident, and finally as an attending physician. Well, during those years we developed a friendship, and Fran and Jens attended all of the major events of my life. I had learned of Jens' evolution from renowned physicist to artist only after returning to their home socially and taking note of small tin models, maquettes, as he calls them, that occupied the spaces where we once sat as students. Jens' art is the art of celebration, mostly of defined particles, too small to see but undoubtedly very real. And in that sense, Troika is a departure for him, in that it celebrates a very big concept. The concept that lies at the very foundation of everything we do in this place of hope and healing. Every bit as real as positronium or off-axis holography, collaboration, appreciation, and respect for our allied disciplines. You'll be hearing more about this later as Darla, Alex, and Andrew come up and reflect on the concept of multidisciplinary care. Now, when I met Jens as a junior in college, he was the exact age that I am today. I have learned that distance camouflages the progression of time. Fran is now battling her own health issues, and alas, Jens is no longer 53. I realized this in a moment of clarity as he apologized for redacting his offer to attend today's dedication. Insensitively, as I oftentimes am, I interrupted his regrets, declaring, "Jens, you don't have to apologize. You're 88. I understand." His response, "Ooh, you're so cruel." As a consolation, he offered his son, Eric, to say a few words on his behalf. And by the time I happened upon Dorset Road in 1987, Eric had been working for the Chicago Tribune for 7 years and had already gained his own column. But in that living room, from proud parents, I heard many a tale of daring do and of Eric's exploits in the White City. Eric Zorn has been with the same newspaper for 39 years. He opines and editorializes about local news and politics, and he created the paper's first blog. In preparation for today's event, I listened to a few of his podcasts, and if I closed my eyes and I creaked my neck a bit to the north and slightly west, I heard Jens. Please join me in welcoming Eric Zorn the son of our sculptor Jens, as our very special guest speaker today.